We just got a ton of new Quest 3 game announcements at the VR Games Showcase, including the launch trailer with first gameplay of Hitman 3 VR Reloaded. Hitman 3 VR Reloaded launches sometime this summer, and we're running out of time, so it's going to be pretty soon. And this is the first time that we've seen actual gameplay, although we did get a tease of it in the announcement trailer, and that made me very worried. But having watched this trailer several times through, I get more excited each time. The environments look faithfully recreated in this new art style. The crowds are jam-packed, and you can definitely tell, unlike the Hitman 3 VR on PlayStation, that this was actually designed from the ground up with VR in mind. I am beyond excited for this game. I cannot wait to play it. It should be coming out very, very soon, but I know this trailer has just made me infinitely more excited now that I can see the environments and the dark shadows and the lighting. That was what I was really hoping for, was some dynamic environments that, well, not like photorealistic like Hitman 3, were still built to be alive. And especially the dance floor, it looks really, really good, and I can't wait to play it. Next up, Arizona Sunshine. Yes, you heard that right, Arizona Sunshine, a remake. Vertigo Games is putting out a remake of the original Arizona Sunshine to pretty much all platforms that the game is available on. Now, what you're seeing here is obviously not Quest footage. It's likely PC VR or recorded in engine, but that doesn't mean that it's not going to look a lot better. It's going to probably take the visuals that you get from Arizona Sunshine 2 on Quest and Quest 3 and bring them to the first game, which is great because the improvements of the second game to the first, from a visual standpoint, even on Quest, way better. And I loved the first game, so it'll be fun to jump back in and play this game when it does launch. It says it has next-gen weapons and combat. All the DLCs are coming over as well. This is coming out on October 17th. It is a separate purchase from the original game, but if you own the original game, apparently you can get a discount when the game launches. It's going to be $9.99 at launch to upgrade from the original. This next game is called Action Hero, and it's by Fast Travel Games. And you can't really tell what the game is going to be about from like a story standpoint, if there is one, but the gameplay looks really fun. It sounds as if this is like an action movie type of game where you're playing this action hero that does all these crazy scenes from different films, even punching raptors, which is pretty crazy, but some of the gun movement looks really cool. The slow motion looks pretty awesome, and it looks like it's kind of one of those on rails type of games, which I really don't mind if it's done right. According to the press release, there's 5 core movies. Immerse yourself in a modern action epic, break into the enemy base for an explosive heist, explore ancient ruins, and more in several movies spanning different genres. Next up is Grimm. This is by Combat Waffle Studios, the same studio that brought us Ghosts of Tabor. In fact, there's another game we're going to talk about in just a second. This game is another online game coming from the same studio, and the information just says, left stranded on the Red Planet by Advantage, filled with treacherous terrain, riddled with precious resources necessary for your survival. Find food, water, and materials to construct a secure base and hone your craft. Discover radiated monuments that hold desirable loot, but be wary of the unknown and rival survivors as they pose constant threats and challenge your experience on the Red Planet. This is Grimm. Explore Mars, but watch your back. Kind of sounds like Ghosts of Tabor with a different story and a different setting, which is cool because they did really good with Ghosts of Tabor. And this one has crafting and armor and different weapons. It's going to be very different to be in outer space, but it sounds like it could be really cool. It's going to be PvP, PvE, so you're going to have to try to watch out for players, wildlife, and AI. You're going to scavenge for resources, build and fortify your base, which is going to be awesome as well. Overall, it sounds great. There's no specific release date on it yet, though. Next up, Silent North, also by Combat Waffle Studios. And it says, Silent North thrusts you into the Swedish Alps, battling the elements, infected, and other players. Fight solo or team up, scavenging gear and crafting essentials. It's an intense PvPvE. Action ensures constant danger. Adapt, be resilient, and survive in this unpredictable, ever-changing landscape. This is another kind of crafting, scavenging, fighting game. With pieces of both the Grimm we were just talking about and Ghosts of Tabor. That's their bread and butter, it seems like. Their online kind of looting, crafting, surviving type of game. Well, this is a true survival sounding one. It's supposed to be launching in February of 2025. Next up is Escaping Wonderland. This is they call it a spiritual successor, I think, for the other Wonderland game Down the Rabbit's Hole. And that was really, really good. It uses diorama style gameplay to play through puzzles, and there's some first-person sections as well. It was a really fun game, the original one, and this one looks like it's going to be even more expanded and have a lot more puzzles. And if you like diorama-style games and you like unique stories, I think you should be looking out for this one, because the last one was so much fun. This one looks to be even better. Escaping Wonderland is coming out on September 26th. Next up, we got the release trailer and date for Mannequin. Mannequin has been out for a little while for testing beta. I think it's on App Lab, but I can't remember if it was or if it was on SideQuest. This is kind of like a prop hunt style game where one team plays as the aliens and they hide amongst the other humanoid frozen people and then try to take out the humans that are walking among them trying to find them. It's a unique and a very fun game, and it's getting its full release on September 12th. It's also getting Quest 3 visual upgrades along with the launch as well. Next up is Endream's newest game. This is Frenzies. Frenzies takes a lot of what Endreams has done with Synapsis and Fracked, and it brings it to multiplayer, some very frantic looking multiplayer. Frenzies is an online multiplayer shooter that uses their cover system, some interesting movement mechanics, and a really fun and popping color art style to try to make a unique online shooter. But early access for this game launches in October. Next up is Band Space, a VR rhythm multiplayer rock and roll game that you can jump in with your friends and become a rock band. I love rhythm games, and if it works really well, I think it'll be a lot of fun to play with friends, and that is coming this fall. Next up is another Endreams game called Fracked, and Fracked actually launched on PSVR and then PCVR, and now it's getting a port to the Quest. I actually love the art style for this game, and it's a pretty fun and entertaining, unique shooter as you ski and play through some pretty epic action sequences. I have to say, though, I can't see this being Quest footage. I'm guessing they're using PC VR footage for announcing the Quest version, which to me is disappointing. I'd like to see what it looks like on Quest, unless this is some miracle Quest, but I don't think so. But anyways, if you've wanted to play this game and you don't have access to PC VR or PlayStation VR, then you don't have to wait any longer. Fracked is coming on August 29th, so not much longer to wait, and I actually quite enjoy this game. Next is a game called Vendetta Forever. This is coming in October, and it actually looks really entertaining. I love the art style, and the gunplay looks really cool. Let me just read you the description. It says, "Welcome to cult action paradise. Vendetta Forever fuses rapid-fire tactical gunplay with effortless acrobatic style and an unapologetic love letter to classic action cinema." This is kind of funny that we got two different games from two different studios that are kind of based on action cinema. I think that's awesome. But we take everything you love about top-tier VR action, remove the fluff, and cut to the good bits for 100% gameplay purity. Powered by the all-new low-kill motion mechanic, shoot to kill, kill to move, dispatch foes, and seize their weapon in mid-air to propel yourself forward. Strategically plot your next move with each takedown in a frantic fight to the bitter end. I'm very much looking forward to playing through this game. I think it looks really cool and really unique, and I love when games take mechanics in VR, flip them on their head, and do something new with them. Okay, we've gone through most of the normal VR game announcements. Now it's time for some exciting stuff from Flat to VR. This is the first time we're seeing officially what Flat to VR Studios is working on bringing Flat games to VR, and the first one is Flat Out. Let me start off by saying that these visuals are not Quest visuals. In fact, I think these visuals are flat, and they're just showcasing them to show what the game is going to be like. I could be wrong, but I don't see any head movement. So this is a crazy action-oriented racing game. If you've ever played Flat Out, you can check out videos online or the Steam page. It's going to be a blast, in VR with destruction derby style gameplay. I think Flat Out is going to be a great way to bring a flat game to VR. No release date for it, it's just announcing that development has officially started. This game actually looks fantastic too. I never heard of it, called Robo Quest. This game is also currently in development by Flat to VR Studios. It's an early VR development, and you're actually seeing VR gameplay recorded from PC VR. The visual style looks really cool. The gameplay and the world look awesome and frantic, and I don't know, I've never played it. Maybe you've played Robo Quest before. It's not something I've ever played, but it looks like it could be a lot of fun in VR as well. Again, now in development for virtual reality for pretty much all platforms. This next one is a unique one called Trombone Champ. So they're bringing not just like your traditional shooters or racing games, they're also bringing Trombone Champ, a kind of cartoony trombone playing a game that actually looks like a lot of fun, and I'd love to play this. It's a rhythm game with a trombone, with customization and a ton of tracks. This one is called Trombone Champ Unflattened, and it actually is coming this fall. So the first game by Flat to VR Studio is coming in fall of 2024. Very excited to check out what they've done and see how it plays. And last but not least from Flat to VR Studios, this is Wrath. This is actually something that's been being worked on by Team Beef for quite some time, if I'm not mistaken. Again, another Flat game brought to virtual reality, but now partnered with Flat to VR Studios. It's making an official launch in virtual reality, which is going to be fantastic. Well, there you go. That is all the game announcements that I have for you. There is a lot to chew over there. I'm most excited for Hitman 3 VR Reloaded out of all of that, just because I've been so looking forward to that. Also looking forward to games like Silent North and Action Hero and even the remake of Arizona Sunshine. But let me know what you think down in the comments. What are you most looking forward to playing out of all these games? Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos. And as always, happy questing.